Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm reading When You Get Turned Into a Baby and How They Take Care of You by me. So let's get into it. Midoriya. Midoriya knew enough about cats, or at least enough to know what they eat and how they sleep, and everything else in between. But however, that did not mean he would not panic, because with Midoriya Izuku, that was almost a given. I mean, could you blame him? You were his precious vian, and now you were suddenly turned into a baby, and he had no idea what you liked, or what you didn't, and he didn't want to hurt you in any way. And also, Midoriya was the type of person to cry when babies cried, so seeing you cry would make him absolutely devastated. He would hold you close at all times, and would refuse to give you to anyone else, unless it was someone in the deku squad. Except Todoroki maybe. Todoroki was the precious friend, of course, but he had no experience with babies. And of course, Izuku wanted you to be treated with utmost care. When he got hurt during training that day, you got worried, and you couldn't help but tear up and press against your head, whispering to you that everything was alright. Todoroki would take his notes for him, while Tsuyu made the baby food, while he would simply hold you and watch a movie, talking to you in the softest voice you could muster until you fell asleep. And by the time you were back to yourself, he had a collection of photos of you. Bakugou. Bakugou would find this a challenge, but he would gladly accept it. Baby Yu was terrified of loud noises, and Bakugou was unfortunately just that, so he would try to stay quiet for the rest of the day, just for you, because one of the Baku squad members just had to say that it would be so hard for him to stay quiet. Yes, it was Denki, and he was not losing to Pikachu. He stayed calm somehow the entire day, and spoke to you in such a soft and calm manner that everyone was weirded out and even scared by it. He made the food himself, and when he couldn't hold you, he would give you to Mina or Momo. They just seemed to be the type of person to know how to deal with cats. And even though he tried not to act so surprised or caught off guard by your cuteness, he had way too much fun squishing your baby cheeks. They were so soft, and he had to seize the opportunity. Sadly though, by the end of the day, Bakugou found it very hard to sleep at 9 when you wouldn't stop waking him up and warning him about the monster in the closet, even though he had proved to you many times that there was no monster. It ended up with him staying in the closet and watching over you until you fell asleep, which was by 1 in the morning. Yeah, you will pay for that. Todoroki. Todoroki would be extremely nervous. He would truly treat you like glass. He was almost so scared that he would hurt you by accident, or that you wouldn't like his fireside. But when you cuddled up to it, and relaxed and closed your eyes, enjoying the warmth coming off of him, he smiled softly, happy, as a relief swelled up in his heart. He was happy to know that you liked it, and that he wasn't too warm or that baby you did not like him. Once that was over, there were more problems to be faced, like what babies like to eat, how babies slept, how they should be held. And actually, he did not know anything about babies at all, so it was more like figuring out what he knew out of all the things he didn't know. At the end of the day, he ended up staying with the girls, and they kept giving him lessons and telling him what to do with you, because just because he didn't know, it didn't mean he wouldn't try. He loved you and wanted to take care of you. just like how you would with him. When the two of you fell asleep, with you curled up in his arms, and him having a soft smile on his face. It was just so cute, so Mina had taken a picture and sent it to the group chat. When they were back to normal, they had discovered that Shouto had selected it to be his phone wallpaper. Kaminari knew just enough from watching TV, having a few of his friends have younger siblings, and what he considered normal knowledge. But what he didn't know was that kids actually got jump scared. So when he came out from underneath the blanket and went blue in your face, he did not expect you to cry for an hour. And once you had finally calmed down, he zapped himself. He felt so bad that he made you cry like that. What kind of boyfriend was he? He treated you so gently for the rest of the day and felt like he was on the verge of tears. Really, you're so precious to him, and he couldn't handle the thought of you being upset, even if you were just a baby. Sero would wear one of his cosplay outfits that he knew babies were familiar with. He got out some of them and saw what you recognized, and then he wore it, and you simply seemed to believe that he was your favorite character from the movie you watched as a kid, hugging him tightly the whole time and refusing to let go. And to his advantage, it seemed to just make it a bit easier to feed you, because whenever you saw him eat, you would eat as well, with no hesitation. Getting you to sleep was also no hard task for Sero, who usually stayed up and read shoujo manga. So, he held his manga for you, and the two of you flipped through it, while he read out loud for you, just until baby you fell asleep. Kirishima was super worried about you, especially because of his quirk and all, and sometimes he would simply activate it on instinct, and you couldn't do that while you were in his arms, just a little baby like that. So, he had given you to one of his friends, but he was sad, because he just wanted to take care of you, but also, deep inside, he knew that was the manliest thing to do. He prepared all of the food for you, with some help from Bakugou and Seto, and he would stay with whoever took care of you, giving you occasional hugs and ruffling your hair, gushing about how adorable you were as a baby. Tokoyami was the perfect man for this mission, even though you were like a beacon of light in the dark tunnel for him. He found it an extremely helpful experience to take care of you, one that he loved and cherished. He made Dark Shadow take care of all the food and stuff, while he would hold you and try to cheer you up, though he had gotten a few bites here and there in his beak, but that did not bother him at all. He just found it so you, which was his own way of saying cute. Iida had asked for help from Tsuyu, who knew a lot more about taking care of babies, since she was the older sister in her family. He took care of all of your needs, like feeding you, giving you a shower, and telling you to listen to a lecture that Aizawa was giving. In the end, he had figured that you did not need the lecture, since you didn't understand, and instead got you a YouTube video, which was about learning letters and a few new words. That would be of help for a baby, of course. Though, that did not erase the struggle of him trying to tell you and beg you to fall asleep at 9. He ended up crying, and one of his friends had to take care of you, while they told him to sleep and rest, because as a class rep, he had a lot of work to do tomorrow.